adjustment for what you're seeing through here on this thing make any difference? I mean,
Yeah, there's a safe framing in here. So
I mean,
I'll show you.
the contrast and everything that you see here is adjusted. It appears on this box.
There are minor differences, but yeah, there's a framing safe box where if you look in there, you'll see two small lines in the corner box, upper left and lower right. That's your safe area.
Okay.
But, it's a good question, and usually what you do, if you really want to be in tight control of something that you bring color on, there's so much to watch. We're going to have bigger shots. And most of this is black and white anyway, because only at times when color comes out.
So was there a number at the beginning?
You could just go till put TCG 4 or TCG 00. Oh, wait a minute. Just put end shot, first shot, end shot 04313. Okay, and then shot 2 goes 43135 starts.
43135.
That's okay.
What happens if we kill these fluorescents right overhead?
Yeah,
Number 3.
yeah, you can just, it's all basically the same thing. You can just put it ending at 434. Hold on, 434. No, that's fine. This is kind of gallery shots.
Okay, sound's not on.
No.
No audio.
Well, actually it is, but it doesn't matter. Just take it out later.
Let's tell some jokes.
Okay, whenever you're ready. Yeah, that's good. You can go ahead and just do it. Do your real job as if we're not even here.
Real exciting for you, huh?
Oh, it'll be neat. There's all kinds of neat shapes and stuff.
Is that where she's gonna hang?
And there's no sound or anything. Maybe I should record all this wild sound.
Yeah, the power sound background even pictures.
You'd be surprised how neat wild sound is if you mix it right. It's sort of like kind of a John Cage approach to movies.
No John Cage.
Oh, you might hate him.
I used to live next door to him. I used to steal his vegetables out the garden.
Is he anything like,
People in the gallery already, we're gonna have to clear it quick.
Okay.
Did you get enough of this?
Yeah, I'm gonna come back another day and get these other shots. I just wanted to inform
Yeah, I had no idea. Right, get used to it.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, that's so nice.
You finished, weren't you?
Okay, yeah, you can, oh, where's Russell? Oh.
Shut this stuff down.
Yeah, hold on. Shine those lights back on Allison. Let's see something over in these mirrors over here.
Is that good?
Just follow this hallway as far back down to the right as you can go. And you will find-
Are they on her?
Yeah.
Are they on her, these lights?
Yeah, both of them.
Which way do you want it facing?
Right on her. I'm just trying to get a reflection over there.
Oh, I see.
With
Yeah,
that.
they're on her.
Yeah.
There's a reflection.
Okay, that's all right.
She's filming your alter ego now.
But we can't see her reflection.
Are those bags and stuff out of the other room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright.
She was talking about moving that furniture out. Should we go see if she wants us to do that?
No, she's got somebody else doing that, but you know what we can do now? Okay, that's record when you press it once. When you press it again, go ahead and check the framing, maybe it'll give you a chance. And then just let the sun come up. Maybe tell the sun to move now.
Okay.
And then try one the lights off.
Now, why is this sitting cockeyed?
Let me
Oh,
see.
okay, never mind. I see.
I kind of want it to make that shape that goes like this. You know?
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Right there. Okay.
And,
Then when the sun comes out, start again. When it comes out real good.
yeah, is it off or on right now?
It says
Record?
tally.
Yeah, that's it.
I know tally.
Tally means the tally lights out. Yeah, REC is over in the corner. In fact, it's taking. Well, I'm gonna record now. I should have left it on that whole time. Damn it.
What's this got to do with invertible what?
He's into abstractions and shapes. I'm going to do the same thing with framing. People are going to fade into drawings. Corners of paintings are going to fade into like real shots. People doing things.
Oh, you have a way to mix that stuff?
Yeah.
Can I see what you're looking at?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You can turn it off anytime. Hey, what do you guys think of getting a shot from there for the ribbon cutting?
You know, I think that would be great.
Over there?
Do you like that?
Oh, I do. I think that would be great.
I was thinking of even jumping over there.
Over there?
Yeah.
Is that solid?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Looks like it.
Guys, I don't know. I could get in trouble with liability.
You didn't tell me to do it.
Oh, okay. When you mentioned it,
I'll split the insurance money with you.
it's the liability problem with that.
If we throw him over there, it's. Victor, we can throw you over, and that's different. You didn't go on your own free will.
Okay. I'm gonna try to be there, but I know
Yeah, right. Where were you?
Sleeping from here. So you want me to get the other light? Well, it'll stay like that.
Okay, well, I mean, the light's on there, it's kind of obnoxious, but is there another light stand?
Yeah. There's another light stand down there.
Yeah.
Want me to light it from down below?
Well, it's kind of obnoxious. That one's obnoxious as it is. Can we try and bounce them a little bit? Like, maybe just put one straight down here so it's not going to be in the people's eyes that are doing that. Like that one straight down there, and then that one more against the wall.
What if we put one down there?
See, you got all those shadows then.
Yeah. Well, just put it back over there. Look.
I think this
That's
one
even
can-
worse.
Huh?
Even worse.
No, I mean actually take one down there and just shine it over this way to take the rest of the shadows out.
Yeah, you can put lights right in there. Huh?
Yeah, that's kind of obnoxious. No, it doesn't have to be.
See what happens without them? Actually, there's less shadows without them. Put it off. Then you have enough light. No, I'm not gonna fly out there with the white.
You don't have to.
Yeah, and he's not.
Can you hand me a white piece of paper? Dennis, will you do me a favor and run down and turn that one on and off for me? Turn that one off again, Russell. Turn it off again. Do it again. Do it again. One more time. One more time. Okay, turn it on. Turn it on, Dennis. Off. Off. Okay, turn yours off, Russell. Turn it on. Okay, now take the umbrella off and point it down there again. Might as well turn it off while you do
I found myself.
it without burning yourself.
About to cut in front.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll leave that one like that. Okay, let's see yours on, Dennis. Okay, off again. Okay, off, Dennis. Off. Turn it off. Okay, turn it on again. Okay, we can turn the lights off for now, but that's how they'll be. That's how we. Okay, that's fine. We can switch it off for now.
We just go ahead. I might be.
Don't you know? I wonder if we could all gather around. Excuse me, I wonder if we could just gather around for a minute. I'm Maggie Mudd, and I run the Museum of Fine Arts for the University of Montana. This is a very special celebration for us this afternoon, the official dedication of the Henry Malloy Gallery. And it's also a celebration of the life of Peter Malloy, who is responsible for what you'll see inside the Henry Malloy Gallery tonight and probably many times in the years to come. I'd like to introduce Dean Esther Anglin from the School of Music, who is Associate Dean of the School of Fine Arts and a professor of vocal music and opera. And she'll begin the event.
Thank you. It's my privilege to welcome you all, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Malloy family, President Dennison. This is indeed an auspicious and glorious occasion for us in the School of Fine Arts and for the University of Montana. To think we have 7,000 new pieces of art from a Montana artist, one of the great American artists, I think it would count, boggles the mind and is of enormous benefit to the School of Fine Arts. Generations of students will benefit from this ability to see the life work of an artist displayed chronologically. All of the art is here, and it will be an incredible, incredible experience for generations of artists and students to come. We are also delighted to announce that we will be working closely with the Malloy Educational Trust in developing scholarships and funds for artists to develop their own talents and their own gifts in the spirit of Henry Malloy. And so it gives me great pleasure to welcome you. I hope you will enjoy the exhibition. And would you welcome, please, now President George Dennison, who will make the final cutting of the ribbon.
Thank you, Esther. And it is, as has been said on a couple of occasions today already, a monumental day in the life of this institution, because we now have an opportunity, or we have, because of this opportunity, virtually doubled the size, more than double the size of the collection in fine art that we have here on the campus. This will indeed make a difference in the life of the institution, the life of the students who come here, not just artists, but all students, and the life of the state. The contribution goes beyond that because of the character of the work and the stature of the artist whose work we now are able to have on this campus. It's just a marvelous thing. I want to express our appreciation, and I know I speak for everyone who's associated with the university, whether it's the faculty, staff, the students, the alums, many of whom are here today, our appreciation to the Malloy family for this generous contribution. It's more in the nature of a partnership, however, that we will be able to work with the Malloy Educational Trust to accomplish the objectives that Esther has outlined. This is also a day in which we celebrate the life of another Malloy. Unfortunately, Peter, who was responsible for most of this work, for the work that brought all of this together and preserved it and maintained it so that we can benefit from it. And we all should express our sympathy to the family, but also our admiration for the work of another Montana alumnus. It's a great accomplishment. I'm not going to talk about the merit of the work because you can enjoy that yourselves. I'm one of those Philistines, I guess, who continues to believe that good art is in the eye of the beholder. So when I see it, and I've seen some of it, I know that it's magnificent art. But I'll wait for the experts to tell me why. And we have some of those with us today. So I won't go into, or try to go into any of that detail. I just want to express again our appreciation to the Malloy family and to the Malloy Educational Trust because of what we will be able to do together for generations of Montanans and for the world, for that matter. It's my pleasure now to introduce Harriet, who's responsible for all of this, really, who will have a few words.
Well, permit me just a few words before we get to the ribbon cutting. Am I going to cut it or are you?
You are, and I'm going to watch.
Peter Malloy was the brother of Hank Malloy, and my husband, and the father of quite a few of these people here today, a daughter and 3 sons, and grandfather to some of the grandchildren here today. And he really loved life and was especially urged ahead by the need to place his brother's art collection somewhere. So he died, and I wish he were here just 3 weeks ago. I wish he were here to greet you all and to say enjoy, and that's what I'll say for him. I would like to thank Maggie Mudd, her staff, your husband, and any number of people probably here, but I'd like to mention Leela and Rudy Audio, who encouraged me and just helped him along, and we're very grateful to you to you. So, repeat place, I'll just say welcome and enjoy. Please come in.
Come on in.
Esther, he was my uncle too.
Was he?
This is my son-in-law.
How do you do? My name is Tim. Okay, Tim, I missed.
Havre, Montana. You know, adjudicator.
Oh, no!
I sang a solo blast at the senior high school.
Did I give you a good rating?
She gave me a 2. That was great.
Huh?
Yeah, it's great. Man, I just want to say, okay, how was yours? Boy, it's been a long time. You know, 20 years.
Gosh, 20 years, 23 years. I adjudicated him.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Oh,
You know,
that's
you asked me,
amazing.
she said, have you ever considered singing professionally? And I said, no.
I said that. Yeah, I must have liked it a lot.
died of a heart attack, and I think that might have affected his life. And he smoked cigarettes, but he didn't seem so frail. He enjoyed life. And I don't think he was involved in any sports, but he liked to go. I know he liked to go to rodeos. He liked to go to fairs, and I suppose it was because of the horses, as much as anything. Anytime there was anything that had to do with horses in the vicinity, we went to them.
I suppose I should know these things. Do you have a lover? A lover?
Well, yeah, he had dear friend very early on. But she got kind of tired of waiting for him to make a living, I think. And I'm just guessing at this. And so she married another fellow. Had 2 children. And then she came back to Hank. And they lived together. They were living together when he died. And he was so happy for Ruth to be back, and was really going to make things work. But I think he worked too hard at it, and I think the strain was too much.
Wow.
And she was an actress. She was understudy for Catherine Cornell in the New York stage. You probably don't even remember who Catherine Cornell was.
It sounds really familiar, Catherine Cornell.
Yeah.
Catherine Cornell.
She was a great actress.
Are there any portraits of
Catherine?
her?
Yeah,
Yes.
there are.
Okay.
And there are
And you did-
portraits of Ruth too. There are
Wow.
a number of them. Yeah.
Oh. That.
Ruth was this
Very, very lovely.
love life for
Yeah.
a long, long time. And I think that was hard for him to have lost her, so to speak. So I don't know how much of that you can use, except
So much of it was so good. It was perfect, and I thank you very, very much.
Oh, you mean you've been taking a picture?
Yeah. I thought I mentioned it in there, but that's exactly what I was wanting. I was hoping to get it to a conversational point, and then I can go in and out of portraits of him and paintings, and I think it's going to read together really good. The name of the piece right now is called Remembering Henry, and it's kind of both ways. I think of it both ways.
You know, he was awfully good to it. His mother and father out there on the ranch. Very good to him. His mother was a darling, and she didn't have any outlet for her energy and her abilities because she wrote good letters. So she just enjoyed sitting down and talking to him. They had long conversations. He was so patient, so loving, I think, too.
There must have been some wonderful letters.
Yeah,
back
there
and
are
forth.
many letters.
Did he send drawings in his letters as well? I wonder.
Well, I think you have.
Some of he like sketches on everything.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
there are
napkins,
napkins, there's
you name it.
there's envelopes, you know, everything that's a white space is
Decorative. Really? Wow. I can't wait to see them. Thank you so much. That was great.
Thank you. I shudder to think.
It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect.
You were kidding?
We can meet some other
Well, that's a good idea.
Wonderful.
That's nice.
Oh, Mike's next.
Mike's
Oh,
next.
did we?
Did we interrupt something?
No, that was
No,
perfect timing.
no.
This
Oh.
is not exactly
Yeah.
a sound room, you know.
Sorry, I
Well-
just need to.
Okay, canyon room, Edgewater. But I have to tell,
Can I leave my purse?
you're not leaving, are you?
Is that her purse there?
Yes.
Here it is.
Now you're not leaving, are you?
No?
Okay, well, wait till I get done here.
Okay, may I listen?
Yes, you may.
Oh, Kim.
Do you think it's gonna-
What are you gonna do? What are you guys doing here?
I don't, you wait and see.
Okay.
Mike, this is Victor.
Hi, Victor.
Victor is working on this.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
This is Mike
Um,
Malloy. Victor. This is Peter's son.
all right.
Peter too.
Keep,
Peter too.
You're Peter?
You got me. You got me
Peter too.
mixed up with somebody else. No, my name's.
He's trying to confuse us and embarrass us, get us off track.
What do you want me to do here?
Okay. First of all, yeah, I'm going to be using the portraits and paintings as transitions over the interviews. So
Okay.
when you talk to me, if it's possible,
With
I want
dreamy-eyed?
you, if you can just look straight into the camera.
Straight
Yeah,
into the
look
camera.
dreamy-eyed. I'm gonna grab some. First of all, and what I want to do is
Sit
I
down.
want
for a
to
second.
think. Yeah, I'm trying to line myself up here so that I can watch this, but I do want you to, like I said, to look right in. There we go. And
Just turn them on.
You know, you don't know how difficult it is to look at an eye. Easy for you to say while you're on the other side of the camera, but
well, you can.
you like to look at people.
Okay, let's. If you can look at me like right
I'll look into it.
here. Okay, this is good. This will work. You
But
know.
I have shifty eyes here, so you have to help me.
The
Kick my-
documentary is called Remembering Henry,
Yes.
and one of the questions that I want to ask people is something that they remember about Henry, not as a painter or as an artist, as a person. Some personal contact they had with him.
Oh,
Small little story.
I told the story about the little dog.
About the what? About the what? That bit me? I don't remember that. Wait a minute, don't do it. I gotta think about that for a second. Let me think about that.
Too long ago.
Well, I can't think of it. I can think of. I can't think of any particular event. If that's what you need, I'm going to fail here. 'Cause I don't remember any particular event. I have a real good sense about Hank, but I don't think I have a remembrance of a particular thing that happened that I could relate to you. Looking right into that eye of that camera. Are you on?
Yeah, we're on. Can you? Okay, I'm going to ask some very random questions here. Okay, can you remember something that Henry wore at one time?
Yeah, he wore shirts that people who are in the Forest Service like to wear. They were really kind of simple and khaki and well worn. And usually had paint on them.
Do you remember any conversations, anything at all, any advice he gave you? Anything he might have told you about?
Well, I was only, when did Hank die, in 1950? I was only 8 years old then. And I can hardly remember what I did last week, let alone what happened 50 years ago. But I have a really good sense about his I was going to say power, but that's not a very good word. He was a very, very confident person to me, who Dad worked with, when we were around him, Dad worked with him on just about everything that Hank did, from building he worked on the fireplace too, I think he did, from building a fireplace, a brick fireplace, to Dad would throw pots and Hank would decorate them. When they were out at the ranch, they did things together to help their parents who, when I remember them, were not able to get around as much as they used to, and they would do all kinds of things out at the ranch together. I remember the smell of, whenever Hank was around, I remember the smell of paint. And I still think about him when I smell oil paint. And there was a time when I did a little bit of that, and one of the greatest things about opening one of those tubes was remembering Hank. That was kind of, I just thought of that. I hadn't thought about that before. Let's see.
Remember what color it was?
The color of your, real dark blue, almost black paint.
What were you painting?
I can't remember.
Is there an image of Henry that's burned into your mind? I remember with me, I remember really well, like photographed pictures of a picture of my mom driving this old Chevy we had when I was a young boy, well before 8. Is there one picture in your mind that comes to mind about Henry?
When you were 8, that was a lot less time ago than when I was 8.
I don't think so. Maybe.
I can remember I was sick. I can remember a time when I was really sick with something. I can't remember, the flu or a real horrendous cold or the mumps or the measles or one of those things that kids get when they're 6 and 7. I can remember being really sick, and Mom and Dad were gone someplace, and I remember Hank coming home when I was feeling really lonely and horrible, and he sat down with me and we talked about this painting that was above my bed. I had a bed in a part of the house, and there was one of his paintings over my bed, and it's a painting that was one of the paintings that he did, that he sent to the WPA as part of that Works Project proposal to paint someplace, and it was a painting of an Indian encampment. And I remember him sitting down and talking to me about what was going on in this painting that he'd done. And I had no idea what to me it was the painting itself was not, the fact that he had painted this wasn't important to me. What was important is that he was making it real at a time when I was feeling pretty lousy. And I have a real clear, strong recollection of how good that made me feel.
Do you remember what was in the painting?
Yeah, there was I have a real clear recollection of it. There were horses, and there were Indians, and there was a person who was dressed in furs and had a beard, and this was obviously done at a time before, probably right after Lewis and Clark, or maybe about the same time before we did what we did to the the Indians in this country, and it was just a picture of people talking at a real early stage, and they both had respect for one another, and it was kind of a neat painting. Yeah. It was an oil painting.
Can you think of any good questions, Allison?
I can't think of any good answers.
He came back most
There were
summers,
so
you know.
many really great moments in there. Really, really. The way I'm going to be putting it together. Pardon me?
Did he come back most summers? Or was there a point where he?
Yeah, one of the, I can remember, there's another thing that I associate with Hank. One of the reasons, I assume this is true, one of the reasons that we would go out to see my grandparents, Hank's and Dad's mom and dad, and have sort of a family thing was, one of the reasons we'd go out there is that Hank was out there, and this is gonna sound really odd because of the way our kids are raised now, but one of the most profound tastes that I can remember are drinking a Coke out of one of those Coke bottles. We didn't get Coke very much, but we got to have Coke when we went out to Peter and Carrie's grandpa and grandma's place, and I associate that taste still today. I associate that taste with those adventures that we had out at the ranch, and I mean that was really an incredible place because we had horses and we had dogs and we had no pressure and good times, and I have real fond feelings about that. And Hank painting, and he would sit me down someplace and say, sit there for a while, and so I'd sit there and he'd paint me. I had no idea what he was doing. I mean, I had no idea that until I see the paintings now, I had no idea he was doing that at the time, and that was kind of a neat experience.
Have you ever had any dreams about him?
I'm sure I have, but I don't have any recollection of. I can't remember my dreams. Do you remember your dreams?
Sometimes.
And I never can remember mine. But there was something that you asked me about that I thought about that I wanted to say. It'll come to me.
Was it about something you wore?
No, it had to do with what. It had to do with him being here in the summer. Things really, for some reason, it seemed like more than other times things would really pick up, would get more exciting when Hank came, and I can't remember why. I just have the impression that that's what happened. More activity, more fun. Got to go to the ranch. And we associate that with summer. Yeah.
You know, something I want to ask about. When I was young, I don't think I quite had the concept of love yet. And I would even have trouble describing my feelings of love for my family members, which I deeply loved. But as strange as this question might sound, is did you love Henry?
Oh yes, of course I did. Yeah, he was our family. I mean, we were as close to him as we were to Mom and Dad, and and I feel badly that my younger brothers and sisters really didn't have the opportunity to develop that kind of relationship with him. Just left us too early.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember there. I remember the time. Remember the time that we would go. There's a. His parents were sort of the first people in Broadwater County, and they knew Broadwater County really well. And there was a place that we used to go to pick choke cherries, and it was a very mysterious place to me. It was a place called Whitehorse, and it was in the Elkhorns. There's a little drainage that comes out of the Elkhorns, and that was a very mysterious place for me because you would come, the approach is on a real horrible dirt road over a desert, and all of a sudden, you know, it's just like magic. There would be this oasis, a little stream, quaking aspen, big cottonwoods, and these incredible batches of chokecherry bushes. And we used to go up there and have picnics, and that was a real trip when you're 7 years old to go up to a place like that. And Hank would always take his easel with him and a canvas or one of those great big pads of sketch paper, and all of this activity would be going on. People would be sitting down, putting a blanket or what do you call those things you put on the table? They'd put all those things out and get the food out, and here'd be Hank over there setting up his easel. He'd be just totally engrossed, and pretty soon he would just disappear. He'd be there, but like a good artist, like a good photographer does, you don't know they're there taking pictures of you after a while, and that's the way he was. And so he could just disappear and do these great sketches and paintings and watercolors, and we have all of those, and they're much better than photographs because they really evoke the feeling that we have then. And that's what's to us is so precious about this collection. When did I start telling? Oh, I remember about Whitehorse. Those things happened during the summer too. Anything else you could think of? I think I pretty well exhausted my
That was so great. Everything that just happened, even just the last moments and everything you said, it was like I couldn't even hope for anything better. It's just so good. Thank you so much. It was really, really good. Thanks.
What are you gonna
Okay.
do with this?
Pardon me?
What are you gonna do with it?
We're actually of the kids, Mike and I are really the only ones that are old enough to remember Hank firsthand.
Yeah.
And I was just telling Victor that I was 6 when he died, so. But I do remember a couple of things. Or one thing, it's just stuck with me. I don't remember a lot back then. Do you remember what you were 5? Tell me when you want me to start.
You already did.
Oh. Well, if I were asked, as I guess I am, of remembrance I have of my dad and my Uncle Hank. Geez, I hope I can do this without crying. Did Mike do his without crying? Really? That's all right to cry. So. What if I cry? Anyway, the house that I grew up in Helena, my mom and dad bought. It's a very small house, and then they just added on, and they had a garage out back where Hank actually came and lived for a summer and painted and did a lot of work. And that summer Dad decided to build a living room on the house and lay the brick for the fireplace. And we had an old Model T Ford truck that came from the ranch that Dad had, and they were using it to haul the bricks and the cement, and they had it parked in the yard, and Dad and Hank were up on the scaffolding laying the brick, not paying much attention to what we were doing, and I was 5 years old. So I got in the truck and I released the emergency brake on the truck, and it rolled into an apple tree. Didn't go very far, and really, really frightened me. Not so much. It just frightened me because I was in a rolling vehicle and I was all by myself. And so anyway, I started crying, and the tree stopped the truck, and I got out of the truck, and I remember looking at my dad first and thinking, well, I'm probably going to be in a lot of trouble. And as I was looking at Dad, I noticed Hank just walked over to me and put his arm around me. And I hadn't, I hadn't had a lot of, if I did have a lot of contact with him, I don't remember it. But he came over, my dad didn't come over, Hank came over, and he threw his arm around me, and he tried to console me, and I apparently kept crying because Hank got up and went out to his studio where he had been living, which was in the backyard of our house, and painting, and came back with I know you guys have seen him. It was a clown with a balancing clown. So it had weights coming out on either side, and then the clown was right in the middle, and it had a point at the bottom of the clown so that you could put it on your fingertip and it just sat there, and it balanced because the weights were. And it was made out of metal, and it was faded, and the paint was red. There was red and yellow paint on it. I don't know why I remember this. And he gave it to me, and we kept it at the house, out in the living room, and it sat out there and balanced for years and years and years. And I think more about it now, thinking back about it, than I did at the time. But that meant an awful lot to me. And so that's the story that I was telling those guys out there when Mom went over and got Victor and said, "Oh, you ought to come over and hear this story about Hank."
Yeah, that was really cool.
And it was pretty neat.
What's the weirdest memory? I know that's a general question, but I remember about. I barely remember my dad, and they're telling me there's no way that I could remember my dad. But I remember this tattoo. It was a Navy tattoo,
Mm-hmm.
And they're telling me that there's no way that I could remember because when I was around him, I was tiny. But I think I was next to his arm looking up at his tattoo.
So he did have one.
Yeah, that's what they told me later. And I was wondering, some little detail, mark on his hand, someplace he might have gotten hurt, something that changed something about him.
Now, is this about Hank or about my dad?
Oh, about Hank. Or,
Me?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, as I'm sure you guys know, I have trouble. I think we all have trouble when we think about a recollection does this recollection come from a first-hand experience, or does it come from a second-hand experience that I keep recalling? A story that someone may have told. There's lots of things that I remember and all the visual images I have of Hank, but I'm fairly confident that they didn't come from a first-hand recollection. They come from the pictures and things like that, and they seem real close to me, but I can't honestly say that they're there a lot because I keep thinking about them, and not because when I first had the encounter that it meant so much to me that I remembered it for that reason. So when I think about Hank, I think mostly about the things I've learned about him and his being with us, but well after his death. The other thing I was going to say I remember firsthand, and I don't know why I remember this. We had a telephone, giving away my era, but we had a dial telephone in the kitchen on the wall, and our number was 1296R. This is when you picked up the phone, the operator came on and said, "Number, please." And I remember my dad standing there on the phone talking to my Aunt Caroline in New York, telling Dad that Hank had died. There's lots of other things I could have remembered, I suppose, and I don't. But I just remember that. I can just close my eyes and I can remember standing there, Dad being on the phone, and I must have asked Mom what's going on or something. And again, I was only 6 years old, but I distinctly remember that.
Do you remember? Do you remember rooms or places where he liked to sit, or where Henry liked to be, or even in about the places where you both lived, where you both would have sat together? Specific images, a window, maybe a view out of window, something that he painted.
Well, if you're ever in Helena, you ought to stop by and I can show you his studio where he lived.
Really?
That summer. Still there, and I've done a lot of things. I mean, we've used that. It's just storage now. In fact, I probably shouldn't tell this story on tape, but Mom, it's just an old garage that needs to be torn down. It's not being used for anything. And Mom asked Dad, I think this is his last summer, she said, "I want to get rid of that." And Dad said, because it was Hank's studio. And it's still there. And you look at it, it's a very small space. It's about the size of this room where these guys. And he slept there, and he ate in the house with us, and he worked out there. There weren't any great views of anywhere. Well, there was a window, and that was a couple of windows that faced towards the house.
Oh. Is it heated?
Huh?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it wasn't heated, but when he was there, it was like from April to September or October, and then he went back to New York, so. And he was probably back and forth to the ranch, or maybe he just had a bunch of stuff in his head that he needed to get down or something.
Did you just invite me to the studio to come see?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But now I gotta caution you, you can see where it used to be.
Oh.
You can see where it used to be, where Hank sat, where he lived that summer and painted. But it's just an old garage full of crap right now. Matter of fact, it doesn't have much in it.
Yeah.
So.
That could still work.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Sure. I'd be happy to show it to you.
Before and after.
I feel good. I mean, I like looking at it and saying, yeah, Hank slept there. I can show you right where his cot was that he slept.
Really? I can't wait. That'd be great. That's excellent.
Neat.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sure.
That's what we get for now.
I can show you the chimney that he helped Dad build, and.
Oh yeah.
That's what you look at when you look out the window where his studio was.
Oh really? Wow, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Do you know how to get a hold of Tim, or should we get your number now?
Well, you know how to get a hold of my mom? Well, I live right across the street. When I left home, I did it in a big way. Right across the street.
I remember when I left home, my mom and I had a big argument because I was joining a band. I was getting into music, and I was in film school at the time, and she was like, well, you know, arguing with me, you're going to stay in school? And I was like, yeah, Mom, I'm getting into music, but I'm going to go do music videos, and don't worry about it. And besides, you can't tell me what to do, and I'm leaving, and that's it, and that's the end of the story. And I walked down the block, and I realized there was a problem, and I walked back home, and I asked my mom for a ride to Hollywood.
A minor detail. That's great.
She gave me the ride, by the way.
That's great.
So.
Well, thank you for
Thank you, Tim.
letting
It's
me
great
tell
to meet
about
you.
it. Yeah, nice to meet you too. I hope to see you again.
That was great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really good moments.
Yeah, give a call when you come over.
Okay.
Have to go out and tell Mom I invited you to see Hank's old studio. She'll go, oh, that's that. Huh?
Oh, but Allison can do that. You don't have
My
Allison.
number?
Sure.
Yeah, 443.
Oh, okay.
1470. And that's a home phone. That's we got a recording deal on it. My work number is 444-3144.
Oh, great. I was thinking maybe you wanted your.
For some other business too, so that's great.
Sure.
I was thinking maybe you wanted your mom to screen your calls for you.
No. You'll also get to see the weather vane that Dad built. This is after Hank died. It's out in the Pottery. And some woman who's an artist in Helena came down the alley. And it's been up there for 40 years. And it's metal, and it's a rooster. It's a weather vane. And some lady who's an artist in Helena lives over on the west side and drives down the alley. And she stopped her car, came into the house. And Mom answered the door. This is when Dad was still alive. I said, I'd like to buy that weather vane. Take $50 for it.
Oh, wow.
And anyway, it's still there as far as I know.
What part of Helena do you guys live in?
We're just a block down from the Capitol.
Wow.
Yeah, straight down on 9th Avenue. Yeah.
There's some beautiful homes over there. Beautiful homes.
Yeah. 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 There. Well, see you guys. Victor?
Thank you.
Okay.
The rest of the family went up toward the, up to the honor college.
Wow.
What's our number?
I've got to go.
What?
What's our number?
Our number? Oh,
Yeah, we'll be there.
right.
Everybody will be there.
Whoa. It's, 55, hold on. Yeah, it's 5557. Was I giving you 6 digits before? 55605. Why is it going like that?
We're okay. We started at 54-155, so we're okay.
Oh, it's counting. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm not getting those little
Right.
like microseconds.
Yeah. Hold on.
This was great.
Yeah. Tim.
Rich Malloy is this
Hey, can you hold that power cord over there? I'm gonna try and get some sneaky shots. No, not really. It doesn't matter whether we get sound or not in this. Oh, no, it's okay. Whoops, it doesn't matter anyway. Hold on.
You're like way on top over there.
I know. How did that happen anyway?
I don't know.
There we go. That's a little bit better. I'm still on level, aren't I?
Yeah.
Wait a second. ¿Has visto Koyaanisqatsi? Tenían retratos, video ahí también. Nomás me gusta mucho retratos, video, casi no se mueve, más un poco. ¿Quieres ver? Cuando lo ves ahí es diferente, pero...
Ah, entonces ya estabas grabando.
Sí.
Ajá.
Una cosa que me gusta,
Ajá.
pues puede ser que es mejor que no te digo, pero casi es bueno cuando la persona se pone nervioso que algo sale.
Ajá.
Que un retrato sí puede tomarlo, pero cuando uno se mueve. Más así. Quiero hacer una exhibición de retratos, video, así.
¿Y es con voz o sin voz?
Con voz. Y si quieres, puedes hacer aquí. Mira.
Ah, para hacerlo más grande, más pequeño, ¿no?
Y luego lo puedes mover aquí. Así. Para empujarlo hasta aquí. No, te digo. Esto más o menos. Si lo quieres mover. Con esa.
Ya.
Ok.
Pásala sentada antes. A ver, pon las piernas allá.
Allá.
Creo que va así.
Un poco.
Es bueno.
Pero bueno.
Ujú.
¿La tocaría? ¿No te pone nervioso? ¿No
¿Me
te
pone
pone
cómoda?
nervioso?
Sí, cuando alguien más está allá. Pero cuando yo no estoy.
Bonita esa música. ¿Qué hace?
Impresiona ese Machu Picchu. Pues grabó los sonidos aunque no empecé.
Es bastante real.
podrías hacer ¿es desnuda? No más retratos, no video. ¿Los podrías hacer?
Creo que no.
¿No? ¿Y si estabas con sábana? Más con, ¿cómo se dice?
¿Una sábana?
No,
Los hombros.
sí, más con los hombros. Y una sábana o una cobija o de atrás.